This is my 1985 Honda ATC250ES. I've had it about a year and a half. It's looking a little rough when I got it, but I've put a lot of work into it, cleaning it up, fixing a few little issues. The tank had a big dent in the side, so pulled that dent, put new decals on it, painted the racks, polished the plastic. It's a little dirty right now. New seat cover, just overall sprucing up, not a restoration, but just a cleanup. But one thing that has bothered me since day one is this rack that somebody hit. Now, I don't know how they got dents on the backside, but they did. So I've done this with a 200 Big Red with the rear rack, replacing sections of tube. So we're gonna replace the front section. I'll show you how. All right, my plan is to cut this tube between these two welds here. I don't want to go any further, just the section between there. Now, the denting ends about right there, but this is bowed in a little bit. I just measured the distance between here and then the distance here. This is further apart, so what's happened is on impact, it has brought these two, they're going that way, it's brought those two together. So I'm going to cut that out, spread this apart a little bit, put my tubing in there, weld it up. Probably going to take this rack off. I don't want to risk welding and everything. I won't be able to get on the back side as well as I would like to by leaving it on there. But next step, rack removal, then cutting that pipe off. Oh, so what am I going to replace it with? Went to Lowe's, looked around for pipe. This measured .630, just a little more than 5/8. Figure the paint that's on it, which is spray on bed liner, added a little bit of thickness to it. That's the same diameter. That is the exact same diameter. So I can cut one handle off this thing and have enough to fill it in, and then still have more pipe left for whatever. This is a T-handled water cutoff wrench for turning off your water main. So on to removing the rack. All right, guys, I goofed. Not with the rack repair itself, but I was not running the camera when I cut or notched that bad section out of the rack. So yeah, there it is. You didn't miss a lot. I used my Roby Portaband handheld bandsaw. Now this is, let me get that to focus. Zoom in there a little bit. Okay, so this was the end closest to that weld you see. It was really dented, and there's still a little bit of a depression, but that thing was kind of flattened right there. I was able to round it out a little bit more. And next I'm going to clean up some of the paint off this so that we'll get a good weld. Now, y'all don't critique my welding. I'm no master welder or anything. I've got this little Lincoln Weld Pack 100 welder. This little wire feed job that I've had for close to 25 years, and it really does a good job for me. You saw me grinding on this piece, knock some of the paint off of it. What I'm going to do is turn this down to the lowest amperage on this welder, and I'm going to tack it on one end. Make sure I got good alignment, then I'll tack it on the other end. And then I'm just going to go around and tack till I've got solid weld all the way around this pipe on both ends. And we'll see how it goes. So let's clean up the paint or the bed liner spray. That's another thing, you know, I could have gone with regular black paint or powder coat or whatever. This is no show machine, but I wanted it to look nice, but I didn't want to use it. So I went with the bed liner and a spray can, and it's done really well. I've actually put stuff on the racks. I've hauled logs and boxes and a little bit of lumber on it, and it's held up really well. You know, shiny black paint would have scratched up by now, but the bed liner stuff does really well. All right, well, here's where we're at on the front rack repair. I did not video the welding. If you've seen one online video of somebody welding up something, you've seen them all. I'm no master welder. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. But here it is. You can see that piece of pipe is a pretty good fit. You can see a little bit of, that was the line about where the weld was at, and then right in there. I came back with a flap wheel on my grinder and cleaned up, smoothed up the welds. And then I came back with a bit of Bondo and filled in some of the little depressions, some of the spots around the weld seam. You can see a bump right there. That's actually the factory weld where that piece was welded into the front tube. And I put a dent in it the other day trying to put it in the vise to straighten it out, and had to put a little spot of Bondo there. So I'm gonna come back and put some sandable primer on this, and then hit it with some bed liner in a spray can. That's what I originally did this with. So I know some people want to go back powder coat or gloss black, but like I said, I throw stuff on these racks from time to time, and this is more resilient, doesn't show scratches. So, but see you on the next part. There it is. It is not perfect, but it is a lot better than it was before. Thanks for watching.